Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. It's the most important news and editorial of the day that is important for both prelims and mains examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with news topic list. Today is 15th of June. The first news is Center Clear Agnipat Recruitment Scheme. Again, something important in which the induction will take place in all three paramilitary forces. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस जो हमारे इंडियन नेवी और आर्मीज हैं उनमें रिक्रूटमेंट की जाएगी. मेजर रिक्रूटमेंट ड्राइव दैट वाज अनाउंस्ड बाय द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट रिसेंटली. विल सी द डिटेल अबाउट दिस. New plan to save jumbos from the train hit. This is with regards to save the elephants. The other is periodic labor force survey. This is the explained page from the other part. And the other is the way forward to end the child marriage, right? Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press a like button. The first news of the day, that is Center Clear Agnipat Recruitment Scheme. The news first which I have taken is from the explained page of the Indian Express, and the same news was also reported in the Hindu, right? So I have clubbed both of the news to give you a better information, right? So this is important for General Studies paper 2, that is government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from it, design and implementations. So the Union Cabinet in a measure announcement has recently announced that the Agnipat scheme for the recruitment of youth in the armed forces for 4 years. Something very important to ensure the proper representation of the youth in the armed forces. The process of recruitment will commence in 90 days, as the announcement has come yesterday only, and it will be a planned phased where almost 46,000 young men and women would be the part of it. So the point here to be noted that women will also be inducted in the armed forces under the Agnipat scheme. This is factually important for your prelims examination. Now this will only form the recruitment of soldiers into the three defense services. The government has either allocated or pay more than 3.3 lakh crore rupees as a defense pension for 2020. So these are some of the factual data that you must know. Now, what is the aim of the scheme? Why government has come up with such scheme? So the aim of the scheme is to strengthen the national security and also provide an opportunity for the youth to serve in the armed forces. As you know, there are other examinations like CDS, NDA, and even the other examinations being conducted. SSB's exam are there. These are the process upon which the youth are being inducted into the armed forces. Now, ये जो Agnipat scheme है, this would be also endeavoring towards providing a gateway to the armed forces. Recruiters under the scheme will be known as Agniveers, and after completing 3 years of services, or you can say the 4 year, actually the number is 4, just to correct you, this is 4. After completing the 4 year of services, they can apply for a regular employment in the armed forces. So this is a kind of pre-training, or you can say a certification that would be given to an individual. This may also be given a priority with the other services that is there in the government department. So those who are part of the Agniveers can definitely be, they would be given preference in joining any other government services also. The Agnipat scheme on the recruitment for the soldiers, sailors, airmen will help to cut the salary and pension bill of the armed forces. Now, annual package की अगर बात करें, Agniveer will receive an annual package of 4.76 lakh rupees for the first year of training. उसके बाद फोर्थ ईयर से उनको 6.92 लाख रुपीस तक की हार्डशिप स्कॉलरशिप या अलाउंसेस आप बोल सकते वो उनको मिलेगी. अंडर द सेवा निधि पैकेज दे विल रिसीव अराउंड 11.71 lakh including their contribution, interest, completion of the services. The recruiter will have to contribute 30% of their monthly emoluments to the Seva Nidhi, that would be matching contribution made by the government. So this is a kind of a corpus that will be set aside for their future pensions. Now there will be no entitlement to the gratuity, or you can say the pension benefits under the scheme. So actually they are not directly entitled to such pension and gratuity benefits, but this amount would be kept in the corpus amount. A separate account would be made. However, Agniveers will be provided with the non-contributory life insurance of 48 lakh rupees during their services. So these are some of the benefits that can be availed by the Agniveers. Now, this is expected to decrease the average age profile of the armed forces. Now, earlier the age was 32. Now, the government has reduced the age. Now, it has made that 24 to 26 years of age would be allowed to part of the Agniveers. Now, enrollment in the services, three services will be centralized. Online system होगी, campus interviews, special rallies की जाएंगे, and our technical institutions such as IIE, जैसे कि इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं, एंड अदर नेशनल स्किल क्वालिफिकेशन फ्रेमवर्क की जो गाइडलाइंस हैं उनके अकॉर्डिंगली इनकी टेस्टिंग होगी. Recruitment will be carried out in all India classes basis and eligibility ranging from 17.5 to 21 year of age. जो medical, physical, fitness criteria है, everything has to be fulfilled. Once it is clear, the individual can be inducted as a Agniveers under the Agnipat scheme. Now here are some infographic that is again important for your revision. So you can take either a screenshot so that you can revise at the earliest. Agnipat, a transformative scheme for building Atmanirbhar India. Enrollment of soldiers, airmen and sailors, pan-India recruitment hogi, all India basis pe, on the best of merit. 4-year tenure including the training period. Attractive emoluments including Seva Nidhi package. Opportunity to serve in the regular cadre of the armed forces. 20 up to 25% of Agniveer will be selected as a regular cadre based on the central, transparent, rigorous system after 4 years. Now, in this scheme, as I've told you, eligibility is from 17 to 21 years, and these are the other benefits which they will be getting, which I have already discussed in the session. Now, pay and benefits की अगर बात करें, you can see these are the pay that the government has released, basically 30,000, 33, 36, and 40. So these are the amount, the monthly contributions they would be getting. Now, this is a broad understanding about the armed forces, basically with regards to Army, Navy, and Air Force, and some other features are also mentioned. Those of you who are specifically preparing for CAPF examination or NDA examination, you can take the screenshot and you can read out the content one by one, right? I'm not getting into the detail of this because whatever was relevant that I have added, these infograph will help you to give a revisions. So do check it out. Now, major recruitment drive to government job, important for general studies paper 2, welfare schemes for the vulnerable section of the population by the center and the states. So in a major boost, the center has announced that it will recruit around 10 lakh people in different departments and ministries in the next 1 to 5 years, 1.5 years. So this is what the Prime Minister has tweeted from his official handle, and he has confirmed that within a span of 1.5 years, the government would be inducting this number of people. Announcing a major boost to employment in the country, the PMO has informed, and Prime Minister himself has taken a review of all the human resource department and ministries of the government of India. The PM has ordered the department and ministries to begin the recruitment from a mission mode, that is from first million post in the next 18 months. So this is the target. These are the deadline. Some of the people, the expert are even of the opinion that government is coming up with election in 2024. So this might be reason government has expedited the entire process, but we are looking into the positive aspects. So we need to have to consider the point that whatever decision that is taken by the government is actually for the favor of the citizen. So recruitment is likely to focus on the vacancies that are specifically from the Indian Railways, Armed Forces and the GST department. These are the broad area. और भी ऐसे डिपार्टमेंट्स होंगे जहां पर रिक्रूटमेंट निकाली जाएगी. Now, unemployment in India की बात करें, according to the latest periodic labor force survey that was released by the National Statistical Office, India's urban employment rate has jumped from 12.6% in April. Now, earlier it was compared to 9.3%. Now, the unemployment has emerged as one of the major challenge before the government after 2 years of the pandemic and attendance of economic crisis. Now, unemployment rate की अगर बात करें, you can see the figure here from June 2021 till August. These are the numbers for Pan India and other for rural and urban areas. Now, some concern and challenges. An additional problem with regards to recruitment to the government job has been frequent with the leak of examination paper. Departments such as railway, teachers के recruitment में भी frauds देखी गई है. Even रिसेंटली उत्तर प्रदेश में ये देखा गया कि स्टूडेंट्स वे लाठी चार्ज इन सब डिफरेंट एरियाज, इवन फॉर पटना, बिहार एंड अदर एरियाज। रेलवे रिक्रूटमेंट की एग्जाम्स हुई थी, उसमें पेपर लीक के भी प्रॉब्लम्स आए, तो इस तरह की प्रॉब्लम्स हमें बचने की ज़रूरत है, सो दैट द फेयर प्रोसेस शुड कंटिन्यू एंड ईच स्टूडेंट हु इज एक्चुअली डूइंग their बेस्ट शुड बी appreciated with the results. The new plan to save jumbos from train head, something important for general studies paper 2, conservation, environmental pollution, degradation and EIA. This is actually from general studies paper 3. Now, the environment and railway ministries are exploring a project to minimize the number of accidents. Almost 186 elephant have officially reported to be killed during collisions with the train in the past decade. तो ये पूरी 10 years की ये figures हैं, which is again astonishing, and definitely government should take some immediate methods, or you can say efforts. The World Wildlife Institute of India, WWI, and Dehradun has autonomous body, which is the Environment Ministries has said that initial round of discussion will take place with the railway official, and WII Dehradun will definitely give up some important insights that will help the government to formulate the policies. The draft document was expected to be readied in July, and the preliminary analysis of the states with the highest elephant number were not always one from that of the death. जहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा elephant है, ज़रूरी नहीं है death वहाँ से, death के figures अलग हैं. I'll show you a death figure also. Now, the latest initiative to analyze the pattern geographically and propose measures for the railway can be feasibly implemented. Now, कुछ measures जो गवर्नमेंट ने recent में लेने की बात की है. After that, I'll show you that graph कि किस states में कितनी death report की गई है. So, government has started that they would be providing fencing at the selected locations, erecting signals board to warn locomotive pilot about the identification of elephant corridors, sensitizing train crew and station master on the regular basis, clearing vegetations on the site and the track within the railway land, deputing forest department staffer in the control of railway officers liaising with railway, and forest department engaged with tracker timely actions by altering station master and locomotive pilots. Now, casualty कितनी reports की गई हैं? Assam, West Bengal and Uttarakhand are the hilly states that have shown the most number of casualties. And the elephant is the only mammal with 6 toes and one which has exclusively over the gripping slopes. During this, it can take time to descend slopes, and when take located on the locations, they can tend to result to the accidents, right? So some casualty were reported. The numbers are again there. You can see the states. So elephant death in the train, basically अगर बात करें state wise, तो सबसे ज़्यादा आसाम, वेस्ट बंगाल और उड़ीसा में रिपोर्ट की गई है. And the elephant again killed one number. These are the number which you can see. This might be relevant for the prelims because UPSC tend to ask some factual information also. Now the government has come up with the initiative, basically a hashtag with there, Hathi Hamare Sathi. So this is for the first time that a scientific methodology was implemented to basically take the census of the elephants. So nearly India has 30,000 elephant in wild. So these were some of the effort that government has taken. If you've been asked in ethics paper or any other papers, you need to highlight the government efforts and the death report from states. Periodic Labor Force Survey 2020-21. This is important for General Studies Paper 3, Indian Economy and Issues Related to Planning, Mobilization, Resource Growth and Development. So according to the Periodic Labor Force Survey, the unemployment rate has seen a decrease of 0.6%. Earlier it was 4.8 for 2019-20 और current rate जो है वो 4.2% की है. The PFLS survey has been released by the Ministry of Statistics Program and Implementations. Rural areas में record की गई है unemployment rate, that is 3.3%, and urban areas is 6.7%. So again, important data. Rotational panel sampling design. This is what being used in the urban areas to assess the labor force participation. तो ये sampling method की use की जा रही है ताकि actual numbers पता चल सके. And even the worker population ratio, unemployment rate, visit selected household in urban areas 4 times. There are, however, no revisit in the rural sample. The sample size of the first visit during July 20 and June 2020 in the rural areas and urban areas was 12,800. This was the first sampling units. और villages की बात करें 7,024. For the urban frame, it was 5,776. First state sampling, which is known as FCU, these are the numbers again for the villages that were surveyed by the PFLS schedule. तो लेबर फोर्स पार्टिसिपेशन में जो नंबर देखी गई है दैट इज 41.6% ड्यूरिंग द ईयर 2021 and 40.1% in the previous year, right? So the participation has increased by just percentage, and the worker population ratio was 39.8%. An increase was seized by 38.2% for the previous one. So previous year में 38.2 और अब जो data record की गई है that is 39.8, which forecast that the number has increased. Now, WPR has defined the percentage of employment in the populations, and migrations rate की अगर बात करें according to the surveys 28.9%. Now, the migration rate among the women is 48% and 47.8% in rural and urban areas respectively. Now, rural jobs की अगर बात करें, expert pointed out that second visit to the household in the rural area could provide a larger picture of unemployment, which did not happen with the survey. Overall, the report suggests shifting of government policies and direction. It has become more rural centric, and even the creation of jobs with regards to Manrega and other basically could be given priority by both union and the state governments. So these are some of the effort that was made, which has led to the reductions and even call for the more enrollment of the people from the rural area. Now moving to the editorial of the day, the way to end child marriage, important for general studies paper 2, government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementations. So some structural framework, poverty, NFS data, education outcome, and way forward. This is what I'll be discussing with you. And the entire editorial focuses upon the child marriage and how we can correlate. So child marriage referred to any formal marriage which is below age 18, and India is estimated to have 24 million children or bride that is under the child marriage. According to the National Family Health Survey, जो data है 40% की है, 60 million child are have a child marriage in India. So these factual information is relevant for your exam. As per the International Center for Research on Women, India has the 14th highest rate of child marriage in the world. स्ट्रक्चरल फैक्टर्स की अगर बात करें, कौन कौन से ऐसे फैक्टर्स है जिसने कंट्रीब्यूट किए हैं, सेवरल एम्पिरिकल स्टडीज इन द साउथ एशियन एस्टैब्लिशमेंट हैज शोज दैट द अर्ली चाइल्ड मैरिज हैज एडवर्स इम्पैक्ट ऑन द हेल्थ, एजुकेशन आउटकम एंड इवन for the health of women and their children. Specifically, studies associated early child marriage, pregnancy, lower likelihood access to prenatal care, risk of maternal morbidities, ये सारे problems हैं, poor nutritional status, इवन एजुकेशनल आउटकम्स जो है वो पुअर होने की वजह से ये कुछ स्ट्रक्चर फॉल्ट्स हैं जिसकी वजह से ये चीज़ें बढ़ी. नाउ चाइल्ड मैरिज इन इंडिया की अगर बात करें, यू कैन सी दीज आर द स्टेट्स. द मैक्सिमम नंबर रिपोर्टेड इंक्लूड उत्तर प्रदेश, बिहार, वेस्ट बंगाल, महाराष्ट्र एंड मध्य प्रदेश. And state-wise reports, if you see, incident of child marriage has been reported in rural and urban, 27% rural and 40% in the urban. So this infograph which give you an idea about the child marriage status in India. You can either take the screenshot of it. Now, poverty and lack of education is a prominent reason behind the hike of child marriage in India. So equally, the large portion of child marriage take place primarily because of the poverty and the burden of the huge cost of dowry associated with the delayed marriage. The people in the rural area are of the opinion that once they will delay their marriage, the dowry numbers is going to increase. The reason being they negotiate early in the child age only and they settle the basically marriage process, and this further led to the increase or hike in the child marriage in our country. These factors curtail the girls' opportunity to continue their education. Definitely, the education is not possible even for the rural area once they get married. And in turn, the lack of educational opportunities play an important role in facilitating the child marriage. NFHS की डेटा की अगर बात करें, जो नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे ने बताया है, 25% of the women aged 18 to 29 years married before their legal marriage age of 18. And the proportion has declined marginally, जहाँ पे ये 28% थी, अभी घट के 25% हो गई है. So if you're writing a comparison, you have to quote both the data. NFHS 4 की डेटा के साथ आप 25% जो करंट की डेटा है वो बताएं. Expediently, the prevalence in higher rural area, urban areas, that is West Bengal has the highest number of prevalence, followed by Bihar and Tripura. I've already shown you infograph. You can take the reference of that. And the other end, spectra in Goa, Himachal Pradesh and Kerala. Educational outcomes की अगर बात करें, if you look into the data of community wise, 39% of the child marriage in India take place among Adivasis and Dalits. These people are actually not that educated they are exempted to get educations. The reason being they're not in the mainstream of our society. The share of the advanced social group, that is 17%, are remaining the share of the other backward classes. Only 4% of the child marriage in India is among the women who have completed more than 12 years of education. So this is with regard to the education outcome, which is very poor in the rural areas. Now, since child marriage is substantially lower among the women and higher in the schooling, it would be interesting to know that whether increase in the schooling has necessarily increased the age of marriage or not. So this is other subject of case study. I'm not getting into detail of that part, but ये आउटकम देखने की ज़रूरत है कि क्या एक्चुअल में एजुकेशन लेवल बढ़ाने के बाद भी मैरिजेस बढ़ रही है या नहीं. To some extent, it is true. It would be definitely increasing. Now, high proportion of 64% of the literate women are anemic in terms of iron deficiency, irrespective of their age and marriages. While the underweight prevalence is almost equal to both, anemia marginally higher later, the border pattern returns the emergence of other indicators. So early marriage have their bodily implications. उनके health पे काफ़ी ज़्यादा repercussions दिखी जा सकती है. Whether the development of even the girl is not there, how she is going to have a fetal development. So this problem substantially exists, but the resolutions or solution has not been provided. Now, way forward की अगर बात करें, the educated woman is important for the personal freedom, social well-being, contributions, and human development. So it is very important to give a formal education at least till class 12 for the rural areas. Basically, we endeavor to have it by graduation, but again, minimum should be 12. A legalized approach to increase the age of marriage would produce a positive results, leading to the improvement in women education and skill acquisition for their employability. In the absence of enhancement of women's schooling or skills, a legal approach to end child marriage might become a counterproductive. So we need to ensure that all things are put in place so that the potential outcome should be reached out to the individual. Right. So this is how you can reach out to the basically way forward. Moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday question. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, also the correct option is C. Today's MCQ for practice, National Monsoon Mission. It was launched by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It aims to develop state-of-art dynamic monsoon prediction system for short, medium and long-range forecast. Second, Amal Hope mission was recently conducted by Iran, UAE, Pakistan or Sri Lanka. So do check it out, which among the following is the correct options. This was all about for the daily news and current editorial analysis. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.